In politics, how you know that things are getting more intense is when these politicians decide to take their meetings abroad. Now we are getting closer and closer to the 2027 general elections, and obviously, the coalition movement have now changed, their strategy to meeting abroad instead of having their meetings in Nigeria. Report has it that they have now decided, to meet abroad whenever they want to discuss very crucial matters. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you have not subscribed to this channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button down below. Also, turn on the post notification bell so that you can be the first person to get notified each time we upload a new video. Don't forget to leave your opinions in the comment section below. The coalition of opposition leaders, fronted by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and ex-Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, has begun implementing a discreet and strategic approach in preparation for Nigeria's 2027 general elections. The group, made up of prominent political figures and influential party leaders, is abandoning public displays in favor of low-profile closed-door consultations, some of which are now being held outside the country. It is understood that the decision to move discussions offshore stems from fear of surveillance and infiltration. Meetings held within Nigeria, once standard practice, are now viewed as compromised. The coalition's leadership believes that sensitive information has repeatedly found its way into the hands of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC), prompting a conscious overhaul of its operations. Some embassies, as it was gathered, are providing logistical support to facilitate meetings abroad, where opposition leaders can operate with a greater sense of privacy and strategic control. Within the country, only the most trusted allies are reportedly involved in local meetings, often in off-grid or private locations. The fresh strategy comes amid ongoing internal crises plaguing several opposition parties. Party insiders have accused the APC of weaponizing institutions such as the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to create or deepen divisions within their ranks by manipulating party leadership, recognition, processes. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu, during his June 12 Democracy Day address to the National Assembly, appeared to mock the struggles of the opposition parties. It is indeed a pleasure to witness you in such disarray. We must welcome and accept the diversity and number of political parties. I will not help you put your house in order, the president stated. Tinubu also defended the ruling party's recent intake of defectors, including governors Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State and Omo Eno of Akwa Ibom State, calling it political malpractice to reject them. He likened opposition parties to sinking ships from which members escaped. You all, let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below. I know that as soon as we get, close to 2027, as soon as, the election gets very real, as soon as, the campaign period gets very close, people would switch to, meeting outside the country. Do not forget that back in 2023, during the presidential electioneering period, a lot of meetings were held in London, in UK, in Paris, because these people are afraid that anything they discuss might end up in the opposition party. They're afraid that the ruling party might, try to infiltrate them, thereby leaking information to the press, not only the press, but also the APC, and thereby also working against their plan. But if they go abroad to meet, they know fully well that it will be really very difficult. Although we cannot actually rule out the fact that media would find a way of getting details of this meeting. Back in 2023 electioneering period, the media still, got the information one way or the other. I wonder how they do it, but investigative journalism is a real thing. So by investigating, the media still, lay their hands on, reliable information, but at least they are sure that it will take time, even if the media would, get to find out. And then, even if at all the media finds out in some cases, it will be that it is the coalition party themselves, who is leaking the information to the press. And it will be how they want the story to be told, instead of the story, leaking out to the APC party, and then, the APC party, trying to infiltrate and, spoil their plans. Before we go, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. The first comment from Usman says, go for the big fish in APC. Shetima is now available. You guys, about 2 or 3 days ago, there was a meeting with the APC North East Zone where Ganduji was in attendance. Let's not forget that Kashim Shetima is from that same zone as well. And throughout the speech, the about 20-minute speech that he was reported to have given at the event, there was no mention of, Kashim Shetima coming back. There was no mention of endorsement of Kashim Shetima for vice presidential position. And you guys, for a while now, there have been the rumor that Tinubu might not go with Kashim Shetima for his second term bid. So hearing from the horse's mouth, and there was no mention of Kashim Shetima, escalated everything, and, talks tried to attack Ganduji and some of, the other speakers who spoke at the event, even though for the intervention of, the security agency, that escorted Ganduji out of the venue, it would have, escalated beyond, that extent. Moving on. Another comment here says, I love what is happening in Nigeria politics today. If coalition will unseat this administration, it teach any sitting regime to sit up. Where will all these costs be recovered? Unsuspecting Nigerians should shine their eyes of desperation, whereas none of them have been able to keep their parties together less than 2 years before election. Silent Nigerian majority are discerning and wise. Alison says, even though the ruling party is not anything to write home about, the coalition leaders are not to be trusted either. Thank you. That's what I've always said. Very funny that we've gotten to this point of lack. Another person says, they are truly hungry and holding meetings in foreign countries. So if they want to prepare budgets, they will relocate again. Where is this finance this meeting is coming from? And they are hungry like Amechi, who rented a 30 million naira hall to celebrate his 60th birthday. IPTOB because cockroach can never be innocent in the gathering of fowls. El Rufai and Atiku are seriously hungry for power. Obi, disassociate yourself from these political rascals because a restless feet may end up in snake pits. We have another comment here from Frank who says, a coalition being led by people like Atiku, El Rufai, Rotimi Amechi can never be the messiah that Nigeria needs. They are part of those who brought Nigeria to where we are today. In actual fact, they are nothing but a coalition of disgruntled, hungry wolves who had lost opportunities or possibilities to continue their pulverization of a nation. They would turn out worse. Let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.